Welcome to the post-race press conference following round 11 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here at the Shanghai International Circuit. Thank you very much for attending in the room and online, of course. I'd like to welcome on the stage our top three: Antonio Felix de Costa from Tag Heuer Porsche, Pascal Wehrlein from Tag Heuer Porsche, and your race winner this afternoon, Nick Cassidy from Jaguar TCS Racing. After the year you've had, Nick, how good did that champagne taste, and how good was it to hear Love Story by Taylor Swift blaring out around this circuit?
Yeah, certainly very good. I mean, massive relief. You know, I'm very proud of our season last year. I think, you know, I've had an amazing time since joining Jaguar TCS Racing. So they've supported me from day one, and I think it was just super, almost unnatural, the season that we had last year, and now this year's been tough. You know, we've not quite had the car. Today, though, I had the best car on the grid, and it's just nice to know that as a group of people and a team, when we give ourselves the tools that we can execute, I think it gives us a lot of confidence. Everyone in my team rides the waves with me. You know, it's not just me that feels down, it's them too, but they haven't given up. They're still searching for answers, they're still searching for performance, and today and this weekend was proof of that. So yeah, very, very happy.
Starting on pole position, you had the benefit of perhaps better visibility than the gentleman to either side of you, but what were the main issues and difficulties with driving in the conditions today?
You know, the conditions at the start were really tough. I could see our strategy was a little bit different to these two guys next to me. So, you know, Antonio and Pascal, they were probably a bit quicker than me on lap 1 and 2. I just really, you know, on the green flag and on that first attack, did the best job I could. I knew I was going to be on 2 minutes, and there was a chance they could be on 4, but I wanted to keep the lead if possible. So as soon as I was able to keep the lead as Pascal come out of his attack, I was a bit more relaxed, and then the car came to me. I was able to spend a lot of laps fine-tuning those four-wheel drive settings so they could be improved for later in the race, and that was better. I think on the four-wheel drive later in the race, I didn't have to push, I didn't have to take risks. I could just manage gap, which in these conditions, if you can afford to do that, is always a lot more of a benefit, because the margin for error is incredibly small in these conditions, and it took the pressure off for sure.
There were big celebrations back in the Jaguar TCS Racing garage that we saw on the screen there, particularly James Barkley, the team principal. Then we saw an embrace between you two. How has James been helping you maybe keep the faith while things haven't been going in your favour over the last few months?
He's been probably a big part, but so's Gary, so have my engineers, so have the team. Also, you know, our leaders keeping not only me but our whole team positive. It's no secret we've been struggling for a little bit with this car. We're a little bit hit and miss, but I think we made some good steps this weekend. There's certainly a lot of goodness there, and we're maybe a little bit behind, but we're coming, and to be able to fight for race wins in the second half of this championship in the last 5 races is certainly our goal. And days like today or this weekend gives us good hope, and we can keep improving and challenge strongly over the last 5 races.
On to you, Pascal. Nick alluded to it there, felt that your car was potentially a little bit quicker at the start. Was there possibly a way that you could have challenged Nick for the race win if things had gone differently?
I tried hard, but yeah, there was quite a moment early in the race where there was a small gap, and I tried to close the gap. I went off, and yeah, it just felt like if I really took a lot of risk, I could stay around, but not really close the gap. And already quite early in the race, I felt like I need to accept that today Nick and his team, they are just a bit faster. But at the same time, we were also super quick because we were just opening up the gap behind of us. So yeah, it was quite a gap to Nick. Same time, quite a gap behind. When we took the second attack mode, I just tried to put a good lap together, get the fastest lap there, and otherwise bring it home. which I'm very happy about, because today was the first time this season where I felt comfortable in the car when it was wet. It feels quite different this season than last couple of years. So therefore, I'm happy that we took the right conclusions after Tokyo and Monaco, and that we found our way in the wet conditions.
As our current champion, I would imagine it's your priority to defend that championship. With 5 races to go, how are you feeling seeing Oliver Rowland kind of maintain a healthy lead in the Drivers' Championship?
To be honest, our focus has switched to the Teams and Constructors' Championship. I think already before Shanghai, we had to accept that the gap was too big. Only with big miracles, we might have had another chance, but looking at yesterday and not scoring any points there, it just gets more and more unrealistic. So I think our main target is to fight for the Constructors and Teams Championship, try and bring that home, which will be a very hard fight until the end, and do as well as possible.
We move on to Jakarta next. You've won there in Jakarta in Indonesia before. How confident are you that there's going to be more success for you in Indonesia, and we'll be speaking again in 3 weeks' time?
I wish I could say that I'm very confident, but somehow it's a bit of a surprise this year that sometimes we are super competitive and just in the next session we're missing quite a bit of pace. So there are some things we need to understand, because the way our season goes is just too much up and down. Too much up and down if you want to be champions again. So hopefully we just understand and learn more after this weekend, because again, tires and the temperature will be very important for Jakarta. Will be super hot there and struggling with tire temps. And before Jakarta, actually, there's a big event coming with Le Mans, which I'm really looking forward to. So another couple of busy weeks, but a very good challenge ahead.
Thank you, Pascal. Antonio, we've enjoyed seeing your air guitar, which has had way too many references already today. But in all seriousness, how hard is it to focus preparing for a race when there's so much uncertainty going into maybe when that race is starting and what kind of conditions you'll be driving in?
Yeah, I'll try and be a little bit nicer to our great translator here, so not make it too long. But yeah, it's been a long day, a lot of waiting. It feels like we're going, then we're not going again. So, you know, we have our processes, and I like to stay relaxed rather than overthink things. We know what to do when the time comes, and there's many things that we cannot change anyway. So, yeah, just try and stay chill, have some laughs with the boys and girls in the garage, and then when the time comes to go and race, we go and do that.
Given that you were being pushed by Jake Hughes there, how much did you have to balance the want to maybe make that place back over Pascal, but also be aware that any mistake Jake would capitalize on that?
Yeah, well, honestly, I wasn't very fast today, and in the beginning, like sort of the first 10, 12 laps, I felt like maybe because I had a longer attack, I could try and get the second place back. But then, you know, I started to struggle more and more, and these guys picked up the pace, so I had to switch my focus to just bringing the podium home. And you know, Jake was putting a lot of pressure there in the last laps. It looks weird from the outside because we're talking, you know, he's not actually there, but it's so easy to in a lap lose a second with a small mistake. So I mean, I had to put everything I had into my focus and be concentrated and making sure I wouldn't make any mistake.
As Pascal mentioned, the focus has now switched within the team to the Teams Championship, the Manufacturers Championship. How much does it mean to yourself and to the team that Nissan came into this weekend leading all 3 championships, and now you've taken a small lead in that Teams Championship?
Yeah, that's where we're putting all our chips now, and you know, try and find motivation to keep digging and keep pushing. It's always a difficult thing to accept when the Drivers' Championship is gone, especially when a month ago we were, you know, actually in Miami, we should have almost gotten back into the lead. So things turn around very quickly in this championship. It's just the way it is. Sometimes in life we have to accept that things don't turn out the way we want, and you know, life goes on, and yeah, we're gonna try and keep them under pressure on the teams and constructors and try and win one of those.
Thank you very much, Antonio. We have some time for questions from the media assembled in this room. If you'd like to raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you.
好，下面请这个媒体提问。如果大家有问题的话，可以举手，他会把麦克传给您。
Hello, this is Wehrlein from Daily Racing App. A question to all three of you, whoever may want to answer this. I believe during broadcast when we first saw the energy reveal graphic on lap 7, so the lap that safety car was coming in, that Nick Cassidy had 84% battery or energy remaining, and both of the Porsche drivers only had 79% remaining. And on the final lap, I think Cassidy still had 10%, while Pascal Wehrlein crossed the line with almost like 0.8% or something like that. I believe it's pretty rare to see such huge energy discrepancies between the podium drivers. So could you maybe enlighten us?
It's too easy for him. He didn't need to use all the energy.
Yeah, you could save a lot of energy and still be so quick. They are so fast today.
Yeah, I was joking with Antonio that probably every engineer in this paddock has a theory, and now they're going to look at that and think, what the heck? So.
Thank you very much for your question. Any other questions they would like to ask? A raise of hands. There we go. One more here.
Hello, today is really exciting and hard championship. We all know that you are all the second time to Shanghai's championship. So what's the different feelings compared to the last year?
I think it's just really positive for the championship to be racing in China. It's awesome to see so many people even when it's raining. Yesterday for the start, the grandstand was quite full. I hope we can build on that, to be honest. I hope we can get into the city, promote more. I hope knock everyone in Formula E listening right now is pushing that, because we have a big opportunity to grow here, and the fans, I think, really enjoy Formula E. So that's really positive.
Thank you very much for your question. Thank you very much to Eve for translating everything so beautifully. Thanks to our drivers. The media pen will take place in this room to keep you all out of the rain straight after I've finished speaking.